This video is brought to you by PayPal, the simple and safe way to spend, send, and receive money. Download the app today.
This might not go the way we think, but it's always fun to guess. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 likeliest theories about Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Something inside me has always been there, but now it's awake.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at theories and predictions for Star Wars Episode 8 that just might come true. In case you're not caught up on all these Star Wars movies, keep in mind that there may be a few spoilers ahead.
And I will finish what you started.
Number 10, Luke will turn to the dark side.
It's time for the Jedi to end.
One of the most popular fan theories surrounding The Force Awakens was that Luke Skywalker would turn to the dark side. Some even predicted that he was the one behind Kylo Ren's mask, although that didn't pan out. Considering how little screen time Luke got in Episode 7, however, his fate is still very much up in the air. The Last Jedi trailers have made one thing abundantly clear: Luke has been through a lot. Haunted by the past and seemingly stripped of all hope, Luke may be tempted to give in to his anger. Even if he doesn't turn to the dark side, we're bound to see a darker side of the character.
It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
Number 9, Snoke is Anakin's father.
Who was his father?
There was no father.
In The Phantom Menace, Shmi Skywalker explains to Qui-Gon Jinn that Anakin didn't have a father. While there are a few different ways you can read into her words, it's widely believed that Anakin was immaculately conceived through the Force. Later, in Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine tells Anakin about a Dark Lord of the Sith who can manipulate midi-chlorians to create new life.
He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying.
According to this theory, Supreme Leader Snoke is so powerful that he was able to use the Force to impregnate Shmi. This would technically make him Anakin's real father and Kylo Ren's great-grandfather, tying into the Skywalker family's long history of daddy issues.
No, I am your father.
Number 8, Finn is a double agent. In The Last Jedi trailer, Finn can be spotted wearing a First Order uniform. Could this mean that the former stormtrooper has teamed up again with the dark side? Well, considering that he risked everything to rescue Rey from Starkiller Base, it's highly unlikely that Finn would turn back on the Resistance at this point. On top of that, the First Order probably wouldn't welcome back a traitor. Traitor! Chances are that Finn is merely on an undercover mission, donning a First Order outfit to infiltrate the enemy. Whatever the reason, we can definitely count on seeing an intense showdown between Finn and his old superior, Captain Phasma. Come on! Number 7, Kylo Ren will return to the light.
Let the past die.
Another highlight from The Last Jedi trailer found Rey seemingly turning to Kylo Ren for guidance. While this may be a case of tricky editing, it could also be a sign that Rey will dabble in the dark side. Whatever path she takes, we have a feeling that Kylo is going to betray the First Order and get back in touch with Ben Solo. Seeing how he murdered his own father, many would argue that Kylo is beyond redemption. Then again, Darth Vader murdered countless innocents, yet ultimately killed the Emperor to save his son. Since Kylo's story arc has practically paralleled his grandfather's so far, he might see the light before it's too late. Number 6, Snoke is Darth Plagueis.
He could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life.
This theory ties into our previous hypothesis that Snoke is Anakin Skywalker's father. As Palpatine mentioned in Revenge of the Sith, Darth Plagueis was the Dark Lord who could influence midi-chlorians in ways unheard of. Plagueis has only been referenced in the Star Wars movies, never making an on-screen appearance. Or has he?
The droid will soon be delivered to the Resistance, leading them to the last Jedi.
If Snoke shares the same knowledge of midi-chlorian manipulation, could he be Plagueis? Granted, Palpatine also claimed that he killed his master in his sleep. Then again, honesty was never Palpatine's strong suit, which means that Plagueis could still be alive and under the guise of Snoke. Based on his face, the Supreme Leader probably knows a thing or two about cheating death.
Oversee preparations.
Yes, Supreme Leader.
Number 5, Force-sensitive trees will have an impact.
Perhaps nothing it is.
In the Clone Wars animated series, we learn about the great tree that grew in the middle of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. This Force-sensitive tree also played a significant role in the Star Wars Shattered Empire comic series, which bridges the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. When the Jedi Temple was converted into the Imperial Palace, the ancient tree was removed, but 2 fragments remained. Luke eventually claimed one part of the tree, while the other went to X-Wing pilot Shara Bay, Poe Dameron's mother. Could this mean that one or both of these trees will factor into The Last Jedi? Footage from the trailer appears to indicate so. Number 4, the Knights of Ren are Luke's ex-students.
Why did he leave?
He was training a new generation of Jedi.
First mentioned in The Force Awakens, the Knights of Ren are loyal followers of Snoke. We already know that Kylo Ren is part of this organization, but could he also be a founding member? Before turning to the dark side and changing his name, Ben Solo was among a new generation of Jedi training with Luke. It's been implied that Kylo betrayed and murdered Luke's other Padawans, earning him the nickname the Jedi Killer.
A young Jedi named Darth Vader, who was a pupil of mine until he turned to evil, helped the Empire hunt down and destroy the Jedi Knights.
Killing a Jedi can mean multiple things though, as ObiWan Kenobi demonstrated when he told Luke about his father. So maybe Kylo actually led some of his fellow students in a revolt, destroying the Jedi Order and leaving Luke broken inside.
So what I told you was true.
Number 3, the Journal of the Whills will make an impact. George Lucas originally intended the Journal of the Whills to provide a link between the Star Wars universe and our reality, chronicling stories that happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Although Lucas dropped the idea, the journal became part of the official Star Wars canon when it was mentioned in the novelization of The Force Awakens. While the journal didn't appear in the actual film, it's possible that we get a glimpse of it in The Last Jedi teaser. A brief clip reveals a shelf of ancient books, one of which possesses a Jedi symbol. Is this book the Journal of the Whills? If so, what changes will it bring?
A balance.
Number 2, Rey is ObiWan Kenobis granddaughter. Honestly, this entire list could have been dedicated to theories regarding Rey's parentage. If we had to single out the most likely theory, it would be that ObiWan Kenobi is her grandfather. That would not only explain why the Force is so strong with Rey, but also offer insight into what Obi-Wan was up to during his years as a hermit. Rey's connection to Obi-Wan was subtly hinted at during her vision in The Force Awakens. Both Obi-Wan actors make voiceover cameos. Alec Guinness can be heard saying Rey, and Ewan McGregor states, "These are your first steps." This seems like a pretty obvious indication that Rey has some Kenobi blood in her. Number 1, Jar Jar is the Last Jedi. Okay, just kidding. Number 1, here come the Gray Jedi.
It's time for the Jedi to end.
What exactly does Luke mean when he says, "It's time for the Jedi to end"? As the film's title suggests, we may indeed be down to the very last Jedi, but the end of this era will make way for a, well, new hope. It's been speculated that Rey is the Gray Jedi, which refers to Force users who walk a fine line between the light and dark sides. By finding middle ground, Rey could truly bring balance to the Force. The Last Jedi poster appears to back this theory up, as Rey drives a lightsaber between Luke and Kylo Ren. Hey, Daisy Ridley even mentioned in a Vogue interview that her favorite color is gray. So, there.
What is your favorite color?
It sounds sort of depressing, but great.
This video is brought to you by PayPal, the simple and safe way to spend, send, and receive money. Download the app today.